Hi, my name's Darren Jaskowiak with RE/MAX West, and I'm real excited today to bring you this great home in Middleton at 9960 Grand Targhee Trail. Now this is really a wonderful property on about 1.66 acres, and it has a slight hilltop setting, and you really can just take in some wonderful views of the surrounding pastures from some of the neighboring properties. And really you can see all the way up to the Boise front. And let's come on inside and take a look. As your guests enter through the front door, one of the first things they'll notice is the two-story ceiling and the divided light windows that just pour in a wonderful amount of light into the entryway and onto the staircase. Immediately to your left is the family room, which once again has 4 or 5 windows throughout it, and looking out onto the front porch and even the pastures out to the north end of the house. The homeowners had recently updated the heating system, and I'll talk more about that in a minute, but one thing you can see here is the pellet stove that they installed, which is an integral part of their overall heating plan. Well, connected directly to the family room is the kitchen and dining area, and there's hardwood floors throughout this entire area. And one of the things the homeowners really enjoy is having dinner and taking in the views from the Boise foothills and seeing all the way up to Bogus Basin. In fact, they can even see some of the lights of the ski resort during the winter. And this house was built in about 2004. The designer looked at oak as the primary species of wood for the cabinetry and the flooring. And they really did a great job with the cabinets here. They put this raised panel, put in a real nice rubbed bronze hardware, and installed some Maytag stainless steel appliances. Had a great microwave here, a 4-burner gas cooktop. I know my wife enjoys gas cooking a lot better than the electric. I think she can control the heat better, something along those lines. And then one of the favorite things that the homeowner, the lady of the house, enjoys is the views from the sink looking out onto the pastures and some of the neighbors' horses that gallop around. One of the questions that many prospective homeowners have when considering buying a property in this area is, what are the heat costs? And in fact, the current homeowners had that question when they moved into this property. And they've done a number of significant enhancements to the HVAC system that has tremendously reduced their heating costs. They installed a heat pump as part of that system. They do have propane heat here as well, and they also installed a pellet stove. They use those in concert to really get some very, very low utility costs. Also, one of the main features of this home is the main level master suite. The master suite is very, very spacious. Once again, takes in some great views of the property. And there's a soaking tub, a wonderful walk-in shower, and a very large walk-in closet. Dual vanities allow for plenty of room for him and her, and just a nice, nice space. Upstairs in this home we have 2 very nice sized bedrooms. One of the neat details about each of these bedrooms is both have a dormer, and that adds some nice architectural detail and some extra space to put a chair and just more room to relax in each room. Also, there's a full bathroom upstairs that is serviceable by both bedrooms. So we're up here in the bonus room, and there's a couple of interesting points I want to focus on here. First of all, this room is completely separate from the rest of the house. In fact, it even has its own separate stairwell. It's not the stairwell off the main entrance, but a separate one towards the rear of the house. And up here there's obviously a great pool table, which is wonderful for the kids or guests. The homeowner had planned to install a bar up here, so there's room for that. That has not been done, but there is room for that. And there's also a half bath. The other thing I want to point out is the ceiling height here. You know, many times we see bonus rooms and they have this wall height at about 4 foot, which makes it very unusable. And here we're probably nearly 7 foot here and well over 8 on our ceiling. So we got a great room here to work with, and really is useful for many different purposes, maybe as a guest suite, an additional bedroom, and just a host of different options. And once again, like almost every room in this house, there's really just some wonderful views. So if you're new to Idaho, one of the first things you'll notice in the summer is the strength of the heat, and probably the hottest part of the day is 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon. And how a house is oriented, or which way it faces, and more particularly which way the backyard faces, is really important. And this one, fortunately, has an east-facing backyard, meaning that it'll be very cool in the summertime. And additionally, they have a very large covering on the patio, and an oversized patio as well. So you really get 3-season usage out of it, and really taking in many of the views. Off the driveway, they have plenty of room for the shop. In fact, that's one of the things that the homeowner had planned on doing, but never got around to. So there's plenty of room for a very good sized shop. I want to thank you very much for touring this home with me today. And if you'd like a private tour, please give me a call at 208-287-0400, or you can email me at darren@moveup.com. That's darren@move-up.com. And we'll have more information in the link right below this video. Hey, thank you very much, and have a great day.